Mayor, what did Homan want, and what did you promise him?
It's a combination, and you saw a lot of frustration on his part because there was a clear lack of understanding what is it under the authority of the mayor and what laws and rules have been put in place that I even fight against. You know, remember, it was spring of 2022 when I was stating that we need to go after those dangerous individuals who have arrived in our country and they're violating laws. That was my talking point, and that was my fight. The city council pushed against it. And so once he understood exactly what are my authorities, what can I do, what can I do, we were able to work out some things that we can do together, specifically on Rikers Island.
And what are you going to do?
Well, number one, we're going to place them back on Rikers Island. They should have not been removed. I'm going to do an executive order that's going to allow them to be embedded in our intelligence task force that's there, DOC, NYPD. We want them there to go after the criminal element of those who are incarcerated on Rikers Island and help those investigations on those who are part of dangerous gangs on our streets as well.
And try to root out the gangs.
That's the goal. The goal is to root out these gangs. You know what's interesting, NJ? When I was down in Ecuador and in Colombia, people were fleeing there because of dangerous gangs. They arrived in New York and they said, these are the guys we were running from. People don't realize the migrants and asylum seekers don't want to be victims of crimes as well, and that's what we want to partner with ICE on the criminal aspect of this.
Okay, executive order on Rikers Island. What other executive orders?
Look at the low-hanging fruit that we have right now. Every morning we meet with city, state, and federal agencies through our HIDA plan. We meet every morning. We have put this in place. We're saying to ICE and others, come be a part of this team. This way we can identify those dangerous individuals. The district attorneys are there. The whole partnership of making sure we go after dangerous individuals. Both the Southern District and Eastern District U.S. Attorney's offices are there. We're saying, let's get together and find out how we can do this as well. And so what we walked out of the room with is a sharing of ideas of how do we go after dangerous individuals, and we're going to allow our teams to put the infrastructure in place. But one of the immediate actions is the executive order.
And you referred to this sort of group, this sort of meeting. What is it called again?
HIDA, H-I-D-T-A.
And
they meet every morning. They have met almost 800 days consecutively.
Okay.
Excuse me. They meet every morning. They have met over 800 days consecutively during the week of going over who are the dangerous people carrying guns, doing homicides, shootings, and some of them are migrants and asylum seekers, and we want them to be part of that conversation with the other city, state, and federal law enforcement agencies.
Okay, got it. I wasn't aware of that. Is there anything that he asked for that you told him you can't deliver?
The civil immigration, civil enforcement. We were able to unravel and explain what the laws are that prevent police officers from doing civil enforcement. And I was able to explain it to him to take away that frustration that these are the laws that were passed under the previous administration. And so he walked out of the room with a better understanding and how we could collaborate. I was joined by Deputy Mayor Parker and my Intergovernmental Affairs Deputy Mayor, and we're now creating a synergy that we could be zero focused on those dangerous gangs and those dangerous criminals who are creating violence in our city.
Should people be concerned, Mayor, that you're going to attempt to go around the sanctuary city laws?
Well, no, they shouldn't. What I'm going to do is, again, advocate the city council to modify them so we can go after dangerous individuals for deportation. I'm going to tell them to look at that. I'm going to continue to advocate. I'm going to join the other 79% of New Yorkers who believe this is the right thing to do, and I'm going to continue to advocate. But I think there are enough things that we have on the books that could assist us in dealing with some of the low-hanging fruit that we can go together and align ourselves on.
Holden says you ought to put it on the ballot.
I think that we have, as you know, a charter revision that's taking place. New Yorkers should come in and speak on what they want that charter revision. It's an independent committee, but I think New Yorkers who feel that way, they should come in and they should make sure they testify.
Got it. Reverend Sharpton, and others by now have heard, you've heard this. You've got some people saying you're now a hostage of Donald Trump. What's your answer to that, Mayor?
Well, you know, I'm just the old soulful ballad. If you don't know me by now, you will never know me. I have not been a hostage for anyone in government. Remember the police department, 100 blacks in law enforcement? The commissioners signed my check. They could have terminated me at any time, yet I was the most vociferous person for police reform. When you follow my career, you know that I cannot be held hostage. I'm going to fight for the people of the city. I'm going to protect the people of the city. And lastly, the issue around immigration, spring of 2022, I was saying this, and I'm now saying it winter of 2025.
No, your record is clear on that. For people who are concerned, you know, final question here.
Yes.
For people who are concerned that you are not representing the best interests of New York, people who are concerned that that with respect to the migrant crisis in New York, that you're not going to protect the guy who owns a bodega, who might be here illegally, and his daughter is now going to college in New York. He worked hard, and now maybe it splits up a family. Otherwise, in essence, sir, otherwise law-abiding New Yorkers. Are you going to protect them?
We need them here. We need, the economy depends on them. During COVID, you saw many of these individuals providing jobs while other New Yorkers was able to shelter in place. That is part of who we are as a city. And so look at the history. I had 20,000 migrants and asylum seekers that came to the city. We got work authorization. We were able to move people on 180,000 to the next step of their journey. You must reach a point in life when people have to trust you. And I think that at the end of the day, people are going to look back at this moment and see what this mayor has done.
And you're willing to draw the line on that?
Without a doubt. We are here to protect New Yorkers who are following the law, doing the best they can to provide for their families. We would never protect those who are committing violent acts against documented and undocumented New Yorkers.
And again, finally, I have to ask you about this. You heard that the acting U.S. attorney has now resigned rather than drop the case against you. What was your reaction to that?
Listen, my attorney is handling that. I stated that my attorney was going to follow any pathway to get me justice. I did nothing wrong. The former president, President Biden, stated that the Justice Departments have been weaponized. The current president has stated it, and believe it or not, I have stated it. Something is wrong. And I take my hat off to my attorney, Alex Spiro. He was clear. We're going to look at every road to find justice for Mayor Adams.
And you believe the case is over, don't you?
It's up to the attorney to handle that. He's handling every aspect of the case. The smartest thing I did was hiring him and listen to him. Let him handle that.